Hello, welcome back to SENDit.Brainsatwork. You are here with Steph and Claire as always, and today we are going to be looking at stigma to strategy. So making neuroinclusion real.
Yeah, we thought it was really important to kind of look at that, look at our own lived experiences about where we might have had that stigma and the impact it's had on behaviours, and then some of the things that we've done to get out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, this week we are going to chat about our wins and fails and kind of bits that we've been getting up to. So we did have a nice laugh because obviously we've been doing podcast bits and business bits and looking at setting everything up. And today I'm not going to lie, I really wanted to go out for lunch.
Yeah.
I did not just want to be having the quiche that I bought and the salad that I bought for us.
I was going to say, you'd already pre-bought food, hadn't you?
Yeah.
But we were quite indecisive, couldn't decide what we were doing.
No, so instead, I thought, because today we are celebrating, we are officially a business.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to look for us, we are officially the Different Brains Group.
Yeah.
Which is kind of exciting. We've got to celebrate. We've got to go to the pub and get a nice lunch.
Yeah.
Claire was slightly on the fence with this, so I thought, do you know what? Let's ask Google, basically, wasn't it? Just ask my phone.
Yeah.
You know, should we go out for lunch? And I did slightly weigh the options in my favour, saying, you know, I feel like we're celebrating, we've just set up a business. Of course, Google came back with, absolutely, go to the pub.
So we went to the pub?
We went to the pub, it was nice.
Got a parmo?
We got a parmo. So for anyone who's not from the northeast of England, it is basically a chicken escallop covered in bechamel sauce and cheese. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't forget the breadcrumbs.
Well, that's a chicken escallop.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
A scallop? It's something like that.
I don't know.
And then obviously
it's a bit fancy for me.
Went meat, feast and spicy all the way.
Yeah.
So I feel that was my win.
Yeah.
That was one of my wins this week.
Win. That was a good win.
It was. But what are your wins and fails this week?
Okay, so my win this week, completely survived half term. Husband was away for the week, as you know, with his own neurodiverse challenge, riding his motorbike from our home to Switzerland and back again, as you do.
I love
in
that.
a week. So yeah, I was at home with the 3 kids, our ADHD Cocker Spaniel, and also working, and somehow just about managed to survive. So that felt like a massive win if I'm completely honest.
That is a win if I'm being totally... I mean, it's a win and a fail. It's a fail because you got stuck with your kids on your own, but actually, sometimes that's so much easier, isn't it? Because you can follow your own routine.
It was. That sounds awful. It was so much easier. Sorry, Si. It was so much easier when it was just me and the kids and I wasn't having to think about, like, an extra person.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've already said one of my wins. My other win this week is that my final 3-year-old little child went for her first day at big school.
That's so cute.
And asked me not to come in and also wouldn't come home.
Oh, I mean, that's quite sad.
It's sad. But it's brilliant, though, because if you'd have met her a year ago, she hated people. Like, I know it's bad to say, but she just hated people. I mean, family, brilliant with. Men, not a chance. The only men she would speak to is my husband and her granddad. And that was it. Like, even the childminder's husband, not a chance. Like, anyone else in the family, my brothers, my older nephews, nobody. Yeah. But now, watching her going to school and actually not wanting to come home, I feel we've turned a corner.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. My fail this week, pure neurodiversity kind of thing. I was waiting for a phone call yesterday, and I think I even messaged you, didn't I?
Yes.
And I was like, I can't do anything at the minute other than sit and wait for this phone call. I was stuck to my seat at my desk waiting for the phone call to happen, and everything that I tried to do just wasn't working.
Yeah. And it was a good, 45 minutes after the time I thought you were going to have it when you messaged me saying you still hadn't had it. Yeah.
It's fine, it happened.
That's good. Well, you'll laugh at my fail because it's... I don't know if it's neurotypical or if it's just neurotypically me. So I ordered a food subscription box. I thought I'd give it a go. You know, and you get your food sent to your door. I won't say who it is, but it rhymes with Lusto. Didn't really like the last box. I was like, do you know what? I'm not even wasting money on it because what's the point? Yeah. So I thought I'd cancelled it. And I thought it was all done and everything. I've had an email saying it's arriving tomorrow.
Oh, no.
But I also picked, rubbish menus. So I don't even enjoy any of this food that's getting sent to me. And my kids certainly won't eat it.
Oh, what a nightmare.
So when this arrives, I'm just going to have to hide it and hope for the best.
We might be able to make other things out of it, because you like cooking, do you not?
I do, but I've still got the stuff from the last time I started this subscription and
Oh,
cancelled
really?
it.
Okay. I would say that's definite neurodiversity fail.
Yeah.
Got to be. How many other subscriptions do you have going, do you think?
Not that many, because I
Yeah.
was really good and I did cancel everything. And then I did pick up the ones that I knew I couldn't live without, like my music subscription. I did cancel it, and then literally the next day I was like, oh, I can't live like this.
No, exactly, no. Mine is like there permanently. Got to have it.
Yeah, and especially for like my white noise and things like that,
Yes.
which helps.
Yeah, exactly. So, shall we get into the
I
episode?
feel like we'd just digress off and never do this otherwise. So this one, is what we mean by stigma.
Yeah, so when we look at stigma, it's quite often people think about the word being someone being mean, but stigma can have lots of different layers within that.
Yeah, it can. I mean, you've got the social stigma, which is all of your stereotypes and everything that come out of it. You have the internalised stigma, so that's the maybe I am too much moment.
It's your internal voice. It's like that person in your head who can be the meanest person.
Yeah, and who could have thought you could have been like discriminatory towards yourself?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Yeah, and then obviously you've got the structural stigma, so this is the systems that weren't built for us.
Exactly, workplaces that we've been kind of talking about and those changes there.
Yeah, and I think even, thinking outside the workplaces, there's a little bit of everything, isn't there? There's schools,
exactly.
there's different businesses.
My God, yeah.
You could go into that one forever, couldn't you?
Absolutely.
And then obviously you've got the micro stigma. So this, I never really thought about this. This is the tiny comments that just chip away at you.
Yeah.
Because you hear things and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to ignore it. But then the more it happens and the more it happens and the more it happens, it does just chip away at that self-confidence.
It really does. And I've got an example later on, which is an example of that. And you end up making yourself smaller and smaller and smaller to fit in a place that really you probably shouldn't be.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You can do that, can't you? And then, it's like everyone finds that hard, or it's just kind of hard to be organised. And one of my favourites is, we all get distracted sometimes.
It's not the same.
I don't know, what do we say? It's the, no, Janet, you don't lose the entire afternoon because a pigeon flew across the fence. Well, actually, yes you do, because I've told you this about my squirrel friend.
Yeah.
Who regularly comes across my fence, and I absolutely love it. And I will just zone out. I need to move my laptop, absolutely, because I just love watching him. And I said, didn't I? I even got a little squirrel table. So
this is commitment.
It's a picnic bench.
Right.
It's tiny. I got
like a full-on picnic bench.
That's what you're picturing, aren't you?
It
Now?
is. Yeah.
No, it's literally like 10,
Okay.
20 centimetres, little tiny picnic bench, just made with some scrap wood. And I just love it. I mean, he's never sat on it. Don't get me wrong, but he will come and take the fruit off it, so he'll lean over the fence and still take the fruit. I just look at one day, I'm hoping he sits on my picnic bench. Fingers crossed. But yeah, sorry, totally digressed. I told you can lose an entire afternoon.
Yeah. Oh, this is like welcome to our brains.
Yes, it is.
First thing I want to look at is spot the stigma. I've got 3 questions. That's 2, but 3 is who is the workplace designed for?
Yeah.
Who has to mask to survive here? And I think that's really important. We looked at that in our masking episode as well, didn't we?
We did, yeah. And I think it's also, sorry to interrupt your questions here,
it's all right.
but I can start to look at people and the masking now. Yeah. It's becoming a lot more familiar.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. And then last question is who gets labelled difficult? And I think...
My hand's up. For people who can't see me, my hand is up. People who get labelled for having
I know,
needs.
And I think I was pointing to you as well when I said who gets labelled difficult. So who gets labelled difficult? And I think that's a really important question, because actually, if we're in a workplace... And first of all, who's the workplace designed for?
Yeah.
I think that's a really important one. But who has to mask to survive, and who's been labelled difficult? Why have they been labelled difficult? Is it because they really are difficult, or is it because there's a different need and they need something different to happen so they're comfortable at work?
Yeah, I think as well, disclaimer, some people can just be difficult. Don't get me wrong, it's not all neurodiversity needs. But yeah, I think it comes from that place of culture as well, doesn't it? And also, it's being able to stand up for yourself. You're brilliant at this. And you're like, I need this, I want this, I expect this. Whereas I'm a suffer in silence and then complain about it.
Yeah. Do you know what? That's a really good point. The amount of times we have conversations and I'm like, Steph, this is what you need to do. And this is what you're going to say. And
I'm like, can you just do it for me?
Yeah. But I think there's those two questions that you can ask themselves. Brilliant. But then there has to be some action out of it as well. It's not good enough for that. And so quite often you can have those, you can have the companies with the posters everywhere.
Yes.
Companies with their like social media posts going through, celebrating neurodiversity. But then there isn't the follow through.
Yeah, do you know what? That's actually what I was going to come on to. It's the very much, we're aware of this and we're doing everything that looks nice and pretty, but we're not doing anything that's actually beneficial. Because that's it. It's the awareness stage. So they've got the posters, but no policies that are being interactive. They've got the training, but actually no adjustments are coming in for it. So it's be aware of this, but we're not going to do anything. And again, they're celebrating it. Everyone I see is celebrating that Neurodiversity Week, but all the stuff are getting ignored.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. So what are you doing as a result?
Yeah.
A social media post isn't enough.
It's not. I don't want to say, oh yeah, every business needs a designated SEND team, because that's not what it is and that's not going to happen ever. It's, again, we say it on every single call, reasonable adjustments.
Yeah.
Slight little changes that will benefit everyone. We can't keep saying it any more than we could.
Yeah, exactly. It did kind of. I knew what you're saying.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Like, organisations love the idea of neuroinclusion, don't they, realistically? Yeah. But I think they get very stuck in that strategy gap. Yeah. So they want the confidence, but not the competence.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, what do they want to feel ready before they act? And spoiler alert, you're never going to feel ready.
Well, it's like us with the podcast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Never going to feel ready. We just got to the point where you just need to go with it, don't you?
Yeah.
I have a friend and her motto is you fall forward. You just got to go with it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm picturing people falling back now, but yeah, fall forward. I think as well, something that's really important is more neurodiverse people need to speak up.
Yeah.
We need to stop suffering in silence and be like, actually, this would really help me. Actually, can we do this? Can we do that? Because businesses aren't going to learn until someone's, I don't know, mentoring them, teaching them, giving them that advice.
It's like reverse mentoring, isn't it, really? You can do things like that, and organisations set up that reverse mentoring scheme and be mentored by the people that are actually the experts, the people with the lived experience.
Yeah.
But looking at kind of inclusion, from our perspective, inclusion improves retention. That psychological safety is so important. And with all of that, it helps them with productivity. And coming from that HR background that I come from, I fully believe if you've got people that feel safe at work, they're happy, they're enjoying what you're doing, it all kind of embeds everything in, and you've got a more effective and a more efficient and happy place to work. Yeah,
absolutely. And like we said, like you just said there, if the productivity is going to go through the roof, isn't it? Because people are valued.
Yeah.
I think this is why employee voice forums are massive, and I just don't think utilised properly or well enough. Yeah. People are asked very closed text box questions when there could be so much to get that value out of your employees and progress your environments.
Absolutely. And it's looking at the other thing is, and I suppose that's exactly what you're saying actually with the employee networks. It's about moving that inclusion into like the processes and the systems that people are doing. So it becomes, rather than kind of written in a policy, it becomes habit. Yeah. And the more it's there and the more it's in everything that everybody does and that it's thought through and all of the systems kind of tick along together, the easier all of it just kind of flows and it just works nicely. Sounds like a real ideal, nice world.
It does sound like the perfect business. The perfect business, yeah. If you find it, let us know, because I don't think it exists yet.
No, exactly.
And it will, though. It will. Give it a few years, and I think this will hopefully take off and businesses will get this.
I mean, I do think there are some businesses that are doing it.
Yeah.
I absolutely do. It's just, I think it's important that people are kind of shouting out about it more.
Yeah. So what needs to happen then realistically for this, the starting points?
Okay. So I think, and you've touched on it already with your employee networks, really straightforward. Ask your teams what works for them, what works best for them. Stop assuming that like silence is fine. For me, when there's silence and you're not hearing back from people, actually that says to me that there's a problem.
Yeah.
It doesn't say that everything's all right here.
No,
it says that people are bunkering down and just getting on with things.
Yeah, it really, really does. That's what we said, isn't it? Review those communication norms. Then, you know, it doesn't have to be a full survey sent out. It can be a Teams call. You know, everyone, most people have kind of a Monday catch-up, don't they? Things like that. Just ask people how they're doing and say, actually, I want everyone to just send me a quick email, a voice note, something, how are you doing, what we could do better kind of thing.
Yeah, but with that as well, I think when you're working as that team and kind of looking at that communication, it's because you've picked up on two things there. It's looking at your communication norms as well. So you've said there your voice note, your email. It's thinking about actually one size doesn't fit all. When you're looking at those communication norms, have you got the flexibility for people to be able to communicate in a way that kind of works for them?
I hadn't even considered that I'd done something there. Go me.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I find it so much easier now because if I'm writing an email, I write it corporate, I write it professional. It's got to be right, grammar's right. Voice note, 30 seconds, doesn't matter, does it? It just goes through. You've got your point across really quick. It's done.
Yeah. No, that is a really good point, and you can just move on with your life.
Yeah, absolutely. No stress or pressure then.
Yeah.
But yeah, build the flexibility into the deadlines. I think we do have to think about that,
absolutely.
don't we?
Yeah, and I think we've talked before, I suppose, about how we respond best to working. So I do like a clear deadline.
Yeah.
I like to know exactly what I'm doing, when I need to do it by. But for you, if it feels like a bit of a demand, that creates a different situation for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. I just don't know what it is. I know it's the PDA, isn't it? The pathological demand avoidance. It just throws me off on a loop, and I want to do it. I just can't.
Yeah.
I just can't do it, and I've got to give myself time to build back into that.
Yeah, so I think there's something there about understanding how people need to get that information and what flexibility and deadlines looks like. If I know I've got flexibility in a deadline and it doesn't really need to be done at that point, then that also doesn't work for me. It's got to be a hard finish, and this is when it needs to be.
Yeah, see, that's it. I do need a hard finish still because it'll get put off because you know there's always other things. But it's can we get done for this date? However, this is the actual deadline.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the way you ask somebody realistically, isn't it?
Do you know what? That's a really good point. It's about tone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tone is really important, and also understanding those other pressures as well and what the other things that are going on.
Yeah. So then what do you think organisations should be doing, but definitely we think should be done this year?
So, again, I think we've already touched on this earlier on, and it's about redesigning processes, and I think we talk about this all the time, and that doesn't have to be a costly thing,
No.
but it's looking at your processes. Are they easy to follow? Have they considered kind of the different needs that you might have? Yes, they've got to meet an organisational need, but how do you have that flexibility in the process? How is it neuro-inclusive? So you could be looking at your different technologies that you're using within the process. Can things be automated? That always makes things a breeze, doesn't it? And I know some of these things might have a cost to it, but actually some of them don't.
Yeah.
Some of the software and the things that we're talking about, they're already there within an organisational structure. It's just they've not been looked at from a neuroinclusion point of view before. They've been looked at from a different perspective. And I think looking at those processes with the people that are using them and getting a real cut of those people, that really helps as well.
It's the feedback, isn't it? Getting that positive
feedback
back, definitely.
But then with the feedback, I get quite passionate about this. I will shut up in a minute. But with the feedback, it's really important that you then tell people what you've done with it.
Yes.
It's no good going out for your surveys and going out and getting feedback if you're not if you're not going to do anything with it, and B, you don't tell people about it.
Yeah, I do love you said, we listened, this is what we did.
Exactly. It's a really straightforward forward, table, that's it.
Yeah, and you value, the people feel valued again. It's going to go up. You're going to get that trust in your employees.
Exactly. The other thing, so again, I'm very passionate as a HR professional. I completely believe in values, and so as a HR person, I think that's really important to have the values and the values of the organisation embedded in everything that you're doing, because it's not good enough just to have it written on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
It's got to be through behaviours, it's got to be through the expectations, and where people aren't demonstrating that, it's talking to them about it and understanding why not. Mm-hmm. So when you're looking at that, it's looking at embedding that neuroinclusion element within your values, within your leadership behaviour, and looking at how it then becomes a habit. So you've got really clear expectations around how people are treated, the adjustments that are going to be put in place, what it feels like to be in that workplace where it's inclusive. All of that helps. But this isn't a quick fix. It's about changing culture. Culture takes such a long time.
It does. Do you know what, I'm smiling because I was just letting you go off on your little tangent now.
I'll get on my soapbox so much about this. I am so passionate about that. But
my soapbox of preach. Sorry, I knew a little song was going to come out. It's in my head now. It's not going to go away. Yeah, I love that. You got very, very into that, didn't you?
I am like... it's so important. Anyway,
I completely agree. I'm all for kind of the values and the culture and everything like that. It's just, it's the inclusion of everything. Yeah,
exactly.
So thinking then, I'm going to make you talk a bit more, thinking about lived experience, real deep dive into it.
Yeah.
We've all experienced stigma, haven't we? It's all affected everyone differently. Top of your head, if you've got kind of a story that you can think about of yourself when you've had it.
Absolutely. And for me, it started to impact my confidence and everything else. So for years, I've never openly disclosed neurodiversity at all. I've always just kind of got on with things, and that is very much me. But it's not, so I've never disclosed it, not for any other reason other than, I suppose I never really saw the point. Very early on, within work, I always got feedback that how I naturally communicated was wrong. It was either too much, it was too blunt, or it might not have been professional enough. And then my favourite was it was too formal. So I spent so many times, I suppose, being told that the words that I chose or the way that I expressed myself wasn't right. So, and could I tweak this, and could I do that, and you're being too blunt when you're talking to that person, or maybe you need to soften your tone.
Yeah.
You can't say it like that, or you're sounding too formal, that I started to overthink. So I was, with this, I almost lost myself. You get to a point where you're kind of internalising all of that, and that links back to that stigma of self-talk as well, because then you start to believe it, don't you? So there was one moment that really stuck with me. So I was on a training course. It was a workplace thing, and we were doing some sort of exercise, and I cannot remember what the exercise was, but I had to say something about someone. So I said I appreciated whatever I did, and I can't remember the rest of it other than I'd used the word I appreciated. Mm-hmm. Well, and to me that's a total normal phrase. There's nothing unusual about that, except the person that was facilitating it completely singled me out, mocked me for using the phrase, said I sounded really weirdly formal and really robotic, and
that's really odd.
Yeah, the whole thing. So after that, you start to go, actually, I don't really want to speak out in training courses anymore. You shut yourself down, don't you? And you start to shut yourself down, exactly. So all of a sudden, and then you start to believe all the other things that people are saying to you. Yeah, chipped away very slowly, and then started to second guess myself. And I don't know whether you will hear the phrase from me all the time, does that make sense?
Yes.
And that is where
I do that.
But that's where it all stemmed from. Never did it before any of that experience, and I do it all the time now because I'm quite concerned that I might say something that might offend somebody.
Yeah.
So I got smaller, and I got quieter, and I got less myself, and I completely lost my voice, and you stop speaking up, and eventually completely lost who I was. So then found a different strategy. So I was working with a coach.
Yeah.
And because I didn't know who I was anymore. That sounds really over dramatic.
Sounds really sad.
It was like, really didn't know who I was anymore. Worked with a coach and basically made up this person. And I drew them on a piece of paper, and I carried it around with me. And this sounds really sad now as well. Carried it around with me, but I wrote on the personality traits that I wanted to demonstrate when I wasn't feeling confident. I wrote these on a piece of paper, never showed it to anybody. And then when I was in these moments where I wasn't feeling confident, I'd pull it out quickly, remind myself, and I'd start doing those behaviours and having those personality traits. And they felt really foreign to start off with, but actually it was about me building up my confidence, because there was nothing in there that I couldn't do.
Yeah.
And it was nothing in there that wasn't me. It was just I'd completely lost myself. So, from that moment of someone telling me, and that it was that micro stigma and those little moments, it was from there, and then it just becomes self-talk.
But isn't it bad that one person can have such an effect on you?
Absolutely.
And that's they were probably a neurodiverse person themselves.
Yeah, I know, quite possibly.
Yeah.
And I have wondered that since, and you just kind of wonder, do you understand the impact that like those little things have on people?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Anyone can be a trainer, but not anyone can be a coach.
Yeah, I think that's
You've
really
got to
important.
have that developing and that understanding. That's like a really an emotional story. I like that. Thanks for
Yeah,
sharing.
you're welcome.
I'm trying to
in
think.
our sharing circle.
Yeah, our sharing circle. I don't even have anything that dramatic, if I'm being
Do you not?
totally honest. It kind of resonates a lot with things that I've gone through. So I was always told, God, you talk so much. Do you ever shut up? I remember as a child.
Yes.
Everybody
all of those
told
things.
me. And I just laughed it off as a child. And actually, as I got older, I was like, I don't think anybody ever liked me. I feel like my family probably didn't like me. Friends' parents, school teachers. I remember school teachers being like, do you ever shut up? No, I don't, clearly. I think we've learnt that. But it does all have that effect. And then you're being told you're being too emotional about things. You're becoming overwhelmed. And it's funny because I've still got that chipping away, so it's still the micro stigma, and it's very much, I'm the most extroverted introvert you've ever met in your life.
Do you think?
And honestly, in my head, I can walk past someone now and I'm like, I'm not going to say hi unless they say hi.
Yeah.
Or I will not speak in meetings, you'll hear this, and everyone's like, you didn't say anything. I will not speak up in meetings because I refuse to, because I think I'm being massively judged. And that's how it's always been.
Yeah.
And I force my personality to come out unless I'm with people that I really, really trust.
Yeah. But it is that, and like you were saying, it stays with you, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
So you never lose that experience. It's just part of you. But yeah, you just find different ways to kind of cope with it, which is completely wrong.
Yeah. Like, I think we've established this by now, even on the podcast. I will word vomit anything that comes out in my head.
I love that, though.
It just comes out. And sometimes I'll say things and I'm like, oh, is that offensive? Is that rude? Are they going to get really annoyed at me? Probably, yes.
But do you find then that your rejection sensitivity comes in because of that?
Massively.
Then?
And I find certain people will make it more on high alert as well.
Really?
So being around certain people who I know, I don't want to say that they're oversensitive or anything like that, but just not the right puzzle piece to fit with my jigsaw.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a really good description.
I just totally made that up on the spot.
I know, I like that.
I liked it too. I'm going to keep that one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've
strategies.
already forgotten it though.
No, it's still there.
Oh, good.
It's going. But yeah, strategies for this one, I think are hard. I think it fits very, very much with kind of the strategies that you've got and that you put in. To fit it into kind of a work environment, a lot of it is just taking the time to have the courage to start speaking out, isn't it?
Yeah.
But like I say, when you sit quietly in meetings or, thinking you're going to forget things or you don't want to speak up, we've said it before, and we've written agendas, I think, are definitely going to help people build the confidence because you can think of the answers beforehand. You can have that time to go over it and think, it's not a stupid answer. Actually, it's quite a clever answer.
Yes.
I would like to put it out there.
Yeah.
Because how many times do we leave and we're like, I wish I'd said that. Even when you argue with somebody, say your lovely husband, and you walk away and you're like, if only I had an agenda to this argument beforehand.
But mine will happen like about 2 to 3 business days after the argument, and then I'll be like, oh my gosh,
oh, no,
I've got the best comeback ever.
Mine's 10 minutes and I'll just shout it through the door and then run off. But yeah, I think needing a script is always helpful, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, for and I suppose it kind of loops back to what we're saying, having a script in your mind. I have like certain phrases that I'll keep on coming back to, and they might sound like filler ones, but it's looking at having a set words, that script, to help you ask for things. What, from an employee's point of view, really straightforward. I work best when. So you're not disclosing that
I feel like we've done that in school as well, haven't we? Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so I work best when, or you can support me by. Mm-hmm. Again, you're not disclosing it that you're neurodiverse. You're just saying, actually, you can by doing this, you will be supporting me better. Or whatever it is helps me deliver my best work. Absolutely.
And please note, you cannot ask for a Prosecco wine feeder in your office. That is not going to help you work better.
Are you sure?
Well, this is strictly advice, it might, but kind of from a manager's point of view, give the most effective support, can't they, really, I suppose, rather than make it.
Well, they're the people that are going to be with you, well, not all the time, let's face it, unless you've got a micromanager, but they are the people that can either help you thrive or not.
Yeah.
I don't know what
and I think knowing that you've got that support is going to really help. So, what can I do to make this easier for you? How easy it to say, right, this is what's coming up, this is what we need to do. What can I do to make this easier for you to do? What support do you need with it? What can we put in place? What's going to get in your way? One that kind of doesn't come out but should is, what can we do to change this environment?
Yeah. Do you think sometimes, and I suppose this comes back to the whole point of the podcast, sometimes the environment factor just isn't there. So we talked about, I can't remember which episode it was, but you were talking about the lights.
Yes.
And lights on the screen and having them down and things like that. That's such a minor environment, like, just adjustment that you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sometimes
really straightforward.
It's not doable, because we did work in an office block, or I worked in an office block a little while ago, a long time ago. No windows, brightest light you've ever had, but it's just where you had to be, and honestly it was awful. But luckily they had a kind of like a meeting zone in the downstairs which had views out into the river, no lights on, and it was perfect.
Do you notice like electricity buzzing?
Yeah, I saw a post about this and they were like, it's not true, people can't hear electricity. Apparently it's 10 decibels. I don't think it's the fact that it's the loudness of it. I think it's the pitch.
Just there.
Yeah.
It's like, it's buzzing, and I have to admit my hearing isn't as brilliant as it used to be, so I don't hear it as much. But now my girls, they are constantly complaining about hearing the buzzing.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's so annoying. Quite slightly gone off.
I can absolutely hear it. I don't know whether it's because I've got about 15 chargers plugged in one extension, and that's why I can hear it. But yeah, when I
think that's a fire risk.
When I first heard this thing, I was like, nobody can hear electric. And obviously my lovely neurospicy son was like, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And now, if you actually listen, all listeners, please go and listen and see if you can hear electricity. Because you
need to make sure that everything else is switched off, obviously. Well, like, you don't have the radio on, is what I mean.
And your washer blasting away.
Exactly. Yeah. You're not going to hear it at that point.
You do need to have something like chargers or the internet box, or you're not going to hear it.
I see your point, but yeah, don't have the TV on, is what I mean.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry, bringing it back in, because this is generally us, isn't it? Making neuroinclusion real.
Yeah.
So, real neuroinclusion isn't a programme, it is practice. It's the everyday stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So, and again, I feel like we've got to repeat each time we do an episode. So, clear communication. Clarity, that is all I want.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Clarity. Sorry, I was getting into the rally.
Laugh at our own joke. Flexible work design, psychological safety, that is so important. Just leaders that listen to what you're doing, but not just listen, do something with it.
Yeah, I was going to say they need to do something with that listening.
Yeah, and then systems that don't punish difference, I think that's so important. If you recognise that you've got that that collection of people that aren't all robotic and need different things, that is so important.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's not about fixing the people, is it? It is fixing the environment.
Exactly.
We've said this already. Think about the light, the noise, the sensory overload. Can you cut down that very loud electricity sound that's going through your building? No, but it's nice. It's just it's having it set up, isn't it, to be comfortable for everyone. Have a water machine. It's actually nice to have cold water available in offices. Not many places have that anymore.
I don't like cold water. I'm not like really
Well,
cold water.
you can get ones with hot and cold now, can't you, as well?
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go. Clearly going to need complex water machines for both of us. So I've already talked about communication, work design. Again, with the work design, one thing that we didn't say, autonomy. We've said it so many times before, but you've got your flexibility. Brilliant. So for us, we've said before, remote working is brilliant, but the flexibility of being able to go and work with different people as well is perfect. And autonomy over your work, having that micromanager is not brilliant, but give me the tools to do what I need to do. Perfect, I can get on with it.
Yeah. And then leadership, I feel like I probably can't talk about leadership because I've already said I don't appreciate the micromanaging, the poor leadership, the fact that we're saying this but we're not going to do anything about it.
Yeah, but then there's a positive. You can have amazing leaders, like amazing leaders, and I think if I can even get my words out, but something, again, I'll get on my soapbox about this, but where you've got those fantastic leaders, it's all about role modelling.
Yes.
And where they take that seriously, you can then start to see that change in behaviours from everybody else. So then the next person role models and the next person role models, and you get a lovely culture. As if it was all like that easy. I know it's not.
I class it still as magpieing, taking other people's good behaviour, modelling it.
Good description of it.
Yeah.
That is such a good... Yeah, I like that.
I think we can all learn things from other people. We can learn not to copy their behaviours when it's something we don't agree with, and we can learn to take on the good bits. That I've modelled people that I've worked with before and thought, you know what, I love the way they do that. Yeah. That's the kind of person I want to be. That's the kind of leadership I want to do.
Be when I grow up.
Well, that was rude. But you're absolutely right. Please. But yeah, it's that curiosity, it's that humility, and again, it's that consistency of it all, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's take one moment this week to really, really think about this.
Yeah, I think so. And with all of this, reflective practice, I always harp on about reflective practice, but it is so important to change things, be it you're reflecting on the environment, your own behaviours, or something else that you've seen. You can pull that into kind of what you're doing, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely for that one.
So, we are going to send stigma packing.
Yeah, we are. We're going to think about, send strategy into your calendar.
Exactly. We're going to send one small change into your team.
Yeah, and send yourself some compassion while you're at it. Get rid of that micro stigma, because we all do it. Let's just kick it out the door.
Exactly. So thank you for listening to our podcast. If you've got any stories or chaos moments, as you can see, we've got plenty, or any workplace dilemmas, then send them our way. Yeah,
and we hope you've really enjoyed this episode, because we've decided to leave it completely unedited and leave all of the good bits and the laughs in. And hopefully you'll like it.
Exactly. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye. Podcast disclaimer. The views, thoughts and opinions expressed in this podcast belong solely to the hosts. We are not experts, specialists or professionals, and nothing we discuss should be taken as advice. Our conversations are based around our own experiences, ideas and perspectives. They are intended for general discussion and entertainment only. If you need guidance, support or advice, whether professional, personal, medical, legal, financial or otherwise, please seek help from a qualified professional. By listening to this podcast, you understand and agree that the hosts are not responsible for any actions you choose to take based on what you hear.